this pandemic. Breaking connections to the world. Empowering language on humanity. Let's bring the world of learning in one channel. Welcome to Business MNHS English TV.
Hello Philippines! Good morning, Nasibu! And welcome to DCBS MNHS English TV Grade 9 edition. Congratulations, dear learners! We had finished the 3 quarters of our lesson in English Grade 9. And now we are going to welcome the last quarter for the school year 2020-2021. But before that, for our MELF, or the most essential learning competencies, we are going to judge the relevance and worth of ideas, soundness of the author's reasoning, and effectiveness of the presentation. Pandemic at the digital age. The new normal setup due to this pandemic time requires us to obtain information using many different platforms. There we have YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and many others. It allows us to be updated and provides rapid dissemination of information. But not everything in social media is true. That is why it is important to learn how to assess data before we react and believe in a certain issue. Let us first listen to Clara and Mario's conversation.
Have you read the Facebook post circulating online since April 2? It was confirmed that the COVID UK variant has already reached our neighboring town, Lucban, Quezon. According to my friend who resides in the said town, the alleged person who tested positive is a medical professional who attended to a deceased patient. I'm worried about my relatives who live there. I hope they're fine.
I think you are worrying for nothing because earlier today, April 4, 2021, I have read some news from Inquirer.net published by the news correspondent Delphine T. Malyari Jr. Based on the article, the Municipal Health Office of Lucban had clarified the issue. According to them, the mayor only wanted to quote one of the medical professionals who attended to the deceased patient that there is a big possibility that it was caused by a UK variant. But there is no confirmation test performed yet. They have also added that they are already trying to process a genome sequencing a direct contact of the late patient. And the local chief executive only wanted the residents to be vigilant and safe.
Let us process what you have just overheard. Which statements are more convincing? Is it Mario or Clara? What are the things you considered in making your choice? What do you think is the impact of unconfirmed information spreading online? What do you suggest to readers or to the listeners? Let us define first what is relevance. It is how appropriate something is to what is being said at a given time. And truth is, it is something that has been proven by facts or sincerity.
Don't worry class, I have here some tips on how to spot factual or truthful information. Number 1, consider the source. Investigate the site you are viewing or reading. Number 2, read beyond. You have to read and look for the details such as statistics, date, name, and etc. Number 3, check the author. Do a quick search on the author to find out if they are real and credible. Number 4, verify supporting sources. Determine if the given information actually supports the story. And 5, check the date. Responding old news stories does not mean they are relevant to current events. It should be updated. Number 6, check your biases. Consider if your own beliefs could affect your judgment. Remember, checking the legitimacy of the information will keep us from being a victim of fake news or faulty information. While, as a receiver of information, we need to sharpen our skills in judging the relevance in the worth of one's ideas, since we may have used it as a basis of personal decision in some situation. Okay, let's practice! Learning task number 1. Let's do the fact check by accomplishing the table below. Put a check on the corresponding box for each item if it was clearly provided by the speaker. The person who will get the most checks is therefore the one who stated the truthful ideas. In the first column, we have the information provided by the speaker. In the second and third, we have Clara and Mario. Source, supporting details which is beyond the author and the supporting sources and the date.
For our learning task 2, listen carefully to the news clip using the link below and be ready to answer the given questions. And if you don't have internet access at home, you may refer to the transcribed version of the news clip provided. Bulacan, Cavite, Laguna, Rizal revert to GCQ until April 4. March 22, 2021, Zian Arcangel, CNN, Philippines. The provinces of Bulacan, Rizal, Laguna, and Cavite have been placed under general community quarantine status along with Metro Manila until April 4. In line with this, the Interagency Task Force handling the government pandemic response also approved new restrictions to slow down the rise in COVID-19 cases. Under Resolution 104 approved by IATF, only essential travel in and out of Metro Manila and 4 provinces are allowed. Those authorized to go out of their homes include workers in the government and private sector, health and emergency frontliners, persons traveling for medical or humanitarian reasons, persons going to the airport for overseas travel, and Filipinos returning from abroad. Mass gatherings, including large religious activities, are prohibited. Weddings, baptisms, and funeral services are allowed, but attendance is limited to 10 persons. Restaurants are limited to offering delivery and takeout services. Outdoor dining is allowed but only at 50% capacity. The private sector is encouraged to adopt alternative work arrangements for employees and reduce their operational or on-site capacity to between 30% to 50%, just like in the government executive branch. The IATF also discourages visits from persons outside one's immediate family or household. A curfew from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. is enforced for 2 weeks. Malacanang appeals for public understanding since the restrictions will affect some people's Holy Week plans. The IATF considers tourism a non-essential activity. Sana po maintindihan ng lahat na this is for the common good. Alam po natin na nagplano na kayo at talagang you are looking forward to this Holy Week break, no? Pero kung papayagan po tayo ng unabated travel, ngayon ay talagang mas mapapabilis ang pagkalat ng mga new variants sa iba't ibang parte ng Pilipinas. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque. Despite the restrictions, Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque clarifies there is no lockdown in Metro Manila or the 4 nearby provinces under GCQ. That is because most businesses and public transportation are allowed to operate. Hindi po tayo nag-economic lockdown dahil bukas pa rin po ang mga industriya. Bagamat, ini-encourage nga natin yung work from home kung po pwede. Kunti lang yung mga establishment na ating isinara. Bukas pa rin po ang ating ekonomiya, so po pwede pa rin po magtrabaho. Local government units of the areas under GCQ are ordered to ensure compliance with health protocols as well as quarantine and isolation measures. Rian Arcangel, CNN Philippines. So here are the guide questions. Number 1. What is the news all about? A. Economic lockdown among provinces under the general community quarantine. B. Holy Week break and essential activities allowed to be conducted during the holiday period. C. COVID-19 Interagency Task Force's new approved resolution to slow down the rise in COVID-19 cases, or the resolution number 104. Or letter D. COVID-19 Interagency Task Force considering tourism as an essential activity in the places under general community quarantine. Number 2. What is the purpose of the news clip? A. To inform. B. To entertain. C. To persuade. Or D. To encourage. Number 3. What makes it truthful? A. It provides factual information. B. It is from a well-known news site. C. It has a convincing broadcaster. Or letter D. It presents prominent government officials. Number 4. Which of the following makes the news clip relevant? A. It states issues that are prevalent nowadays. B. It provides information that the public needs. C. It contains pertinent answers on issues. Or letter D, all of the above. Number 5. Complete the table by supplying the necessary information heard from the news. The source, details, the author, the supporting sources, and the date.
For your learning task number 3, this is it. As a teenager, you are considered as one of the most vulnerable individuals from COVID-19. Thus, it is important to always remind yourself of the preventive measures against the virus. In this task, you will make a creative infographic out of the informative text from the World Health Organization on COVID-19 facts. Now you're going to ask, what is an infographic? An infographic is a visual presentation of information or data, specifically a collection of imagery, charts, and minimal text that gives an easy-to-understand overview of a topic. Coronavirus COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by a newly discovered coronavirus. Most people infected with the COVID-19 virus will experience mild to moderate respiratory illness and recover without requiring special treatment. Older people and those with underlying medical problems like cardiovascular disease, diabetes, chronic respiratory disease, and cancer are more likely to develop serious illness. The COVID-19 virus spreads primarily through droplets of saliva or discharge from the nose when an infected person coughs or sneezes. So it is important that you also practice respiratory etiquette. For example, by coughing into a flexed elbow. So here is the prevention. To prevent infection and to slow transmission of COVID-19, please do the following. Wash your hands regularly with soap and water or clean them with an alcohol-based hand rub. Maintain at least 1 meter distance between you and people coughing or sneezing. Avoid touching your face. Cover your mouth and nose when coughing or sneezing. Stay home if you feel unwell. Refrain from smoking and other activities that weaken the lungs. Practice physical distancing by avoiding unnecessary trouble and staying away from large groups of people. So these are the most common symptoms of this COVID-19 virus: fever, dry cough, or tiredness. And these are the serious symptoms: difficulty breathing or shortness of breath, chest pain or pressure, loss of speech or movement. And here are the list of less common symptoms: aches and pains, conjunctivitis, sore throat, diarrhea, headache, loss of taste or smell, a rash on skin or discoloration of fingers or toes. For your learning task number 4, here is the thing that you are going to do. Analyze the following situations and decide whether it can help you obtain factual information or not. Put a check mark if it is yes, and a cross mark if it is no. Number 1. You are reading an article about the number of new positive cases of COVID-19 in your place. Then, you found out that the article is already out of date. Number 2. Amanda saw a viral Twitter post from an unknown source who asserted that a medicinal plant is being used to cure COVID-19 patients. Number 3. A resource speaker in the seminar you are attending mentioned names of credible authors while expounding his ideas. Number 4. Your friend saw a cryptic news headline and shared it in her timeline, but it does not present any details about the whole story. Number 5. A social media influencer stressed, Filipinos have no right in the West Philippine Sea. However, he failed to cite any source to prove his claim. Thank you for watching, everyone! See you on our next learning session. Bye!